YouTube, says we're live, so check it out. We got a furnace in. Wait for some people to get in here and we'll do an unboxing. Now this thing right here means a lot to me because this was pretty much gifted to me. Somebody reached out, 3D Woodworks, we've been talking, we became fast friends, really good dude, and he wanted to send me a furnace. So here we are, a brand new TuAuto. I think this is the TRF 3000 if I'm not mistaken. This one supposedly gets hotter faster, and I think it gets hotter in general. So pretty cool. I can't wait to use this thing and get into it. So I popped the top off, but I haven't bit into it yet because I wanted to do it live. So thank you, 3D Woodworks. I really appreciate it, man. For somebody to go out of their way like this and do something for me, it really means a lot to me. Now I am trading him a pour, but that's not even worth half of what this is. So thank you, I really appreciate it. Chew, what's going on? So this is actually what I'm doing for him. I'm pouring this Eagle for him. And he said if I poured this for him, he would send me a brand new TuAuto furnace because he was buying one for himself as well. And man, what a great dude. I'll tell you what, I picked this up from the post office, and I didn't even have a slip in the box yet, but he said it had been delivered, so I go over there inside and talk to him, and they happened to have it, so that was cool. I went to the dollar store right after, man. As soon as I parked and pulled up to the dollar store, I mean, just a flood of emotions, man. I was all teary-eyed, and just, I've never had anybody do something like this for me before, and so it really means a lot. But yeah, man, I was sitting in the parking lot trying to dry my eyes before I went into the dollar store. It's pretty amazing thing he did for me. Costa Rica, what's going on? Orda, what's up? Hope everybody's having a good day. I figured I would go live and unbox this. I'm probably going to make a video about it too and do like the first burn and everything because I know I have to burn these. Orda, you use one of these, right? I think I have to put it on 500 degrees for a certain amount of time, and then you're supposed to heat the crucibles up and then let them cool down completely before you go to use them. So I don't know if I would do that today in the live stream. I think I'd rather make a video about that, kind of unboxing it and showing the whole process and then pouring something with it. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. But yeah, thank you. For those that don't know, this came from 3D Woodworks. He bought himself one and bought me one. And the only thing that he wants in return is a pour that I do that's about 1.5 ounces. So tell me that that's not an amazing dude. Talked to him on the phone. We became fast friends. We got a lot in common. He's a really good guy, and I appreciate him. I've been talking to a few people recently, and there's so many good people in the community, and it never really ceases to amaze me. Like, I've never had anybody do something like this before, to send me a freaking $300 and something furnace for 1.5 ounce pour. That's crazy. But I really appreciate it. I almost kind of told him no at first because I didn't feel right, you know. But he wanted to bless me, and then in turn I can bless somebody else at some point later on. I definitely want to keep this going. So I'm going to figure something out to keep the blessings going. But yeah, it was 3D Woodworks. Robert Worley, what's going on? SGT, what's up? I'm pouring him 1.5 ounce Eagle. This usually is about 1.5 ounces, and he wanted one of these. I said that he would send me the furnace in return, and I was like, man, I really feel like I'm kind of getting over on you by doing that. And he was like, no, you're not getting over on me. I wanna help you out. He knows it's been a little tight, a little hard trying to get things going. It's tough to make money in pouring, but this really just kind of give me a whole new kickstart, if that makes any sense. It's probably the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Really got me wanting to get out there and do some work. What's going on, Robert? I haven't seen you in a while. How you been doing? But yeah, supposedly this one that has the, I don't want to say octagon. What is this? Six side? A six sideagon? Whatever that is. Um, this one is actually smaller, so it doesn't take up as much room. It's not as tall, so that's good. Because that cheap one I got was pretty tall. And it was kind of like, you really had to lift it up high to get it out, because my counter is so high in the shed. But supposedly it gets hot faster, and it gets hotter in general, I believe. But, I got the book here. It's crazy. It tells you to keep the furnace must be used outdoors or other well ventilated areas. When in use, ensure that the area remains clear of all combustible and volatile materials for a minimum radius of 33 feet. Like, dang, that's pretty far. I don't even do that with my gas, and that's probably way more dangerous. But what's good about this is that I'm going to be able to, even if it's raining outside, I can be inside. I got two doors, one in the front, one in the back, which if I have the doors open, it doesn't really get wet inside too much. Sometimes it'll come in that front door a little bit, but I could put a fan on and just let it pull the air through, and it'll come in one door and out the other. So even doing copper, that's the one thing about copper. It's not good for you to breathe it in. I mean, nothing is really, but silver is not anywhere close to as like copper or brass or some of the other stuff that you definitely don't want to be breathing in. So I tried to do copper in the electric furnace. That's kind of why he wanted to help me out with this too, because I had the gas furnace, and every time I would try to do copper, I had like this little pinhole in the top, in like the cap or the top, when you flip it down. So there was a little hole, and it just kind of got worse and worse and worse every time I would do copper. When I do silver, there's no issue. But every time I would pour copper, it would get worse and worse. So this is kind of going to be the thing that I use for copper. And it comes with two crucibles. So one for silver, one for copper. So that's good. But I've watched people use these things, man. And when I had that cheap one, it did the same thing where it comes out really clumpy. So I guess there's going to be a process in trying to figure out the timing of it. And once it gets to temperature, how long do I have to wait before it's ready to pour and be liquid totally. So the difference in this one too, and the other one, is that on the inside, it's not quite as big. The crucible fits exactly down into it. There's no extra room on the sides. The heating element, I believe, was on the inside, and now it's kind of wrapped around the outside, I think is the difference. This is definitely supposed to be an upgrade. Carol, what's going on? Hexagon, there you go. That's the word. Barely surviving. I'm sorry, Robert. I hear you, man. I've been in a lot of pain recently. My freaking hip has been killing me for about 2 weeks now. It's hard getting old. You like the sixagon, though? The sixagon, the eightagon. So basically you have to pour from the forest behind the house. Yeah. I will be, that's usually where I'm at, is behind the shed. But now that the leaves are starting to fall too, it's not too bad right now, but in like another couple weeks, man, the leaves are going to be falling like crazy. And I'm going to be trying to dodge leaves falling down when I'm trying to pour, and I don't want to deal with that either. So it kind of helps with that as well. I don't have a roof over top of the back there, which I'd like to make one at some point, but I don't have one there yet. And not to mention the what's it called? Man, I'm so lost for words today. Like the water catchment on the back is messed up. So if I put a roof there, I wouldn't even have to worry about having that. The gutter, I could just pull the gutter off, put the roof there, and then the water would run down to one roof and then come off the other, and then I could just put a gutter on that, a brand new one. I had a limb fall down and smash the gutter right in the middle of it, and now it's like leaking out of that spot right on that table that's out there, so it kind of sucks. But yeah, I was trying to see if maybe he would pop in, but I know he's working, so you can always watch the playback. I told him I was going to go live and probably make a video anyway. So what's everybody getting into this week? Anything going on this weekend? Let me get this book from in here. Like I always say, safety first. Except mine goes down to my knees. Don't be that guy. Don't put your crap everywhere. I actually just cleaned the shed up too last night. I fell asleep in my damn chair last night downstairs. All of a sudden it was 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what the hell? How did that happen? See, this kind of shows it a little bit. Well, no, not really. This was the older one where you could see that inside. And now, see how it kind of goes in? Now it's supposed to be straight down. Um, Silver Oceans posted a video when he got his in. He was talking about it. I never had an original, so I probably wouldn't have known that. What's up, buddy? Let me give this dog some water and put it in the other room so you don't sit here walking around. Come on, bud. Come on. Safety meeting. Seven Stacks, what's going on? How you doing today? My neighbor. She's on the other side of the pond though. Jim Thompson, what's happening? How you doing? Greetings from the Outer Banks. Well, greetings from Maryland. How's everything down there? I know there was some pretty bad areas in North Carolina with flooding. Everything okay where you're at? It seems like the whole freaking country is flooding right now. Tennessee was really bad. I'm sure Florida was crazy. They say it's gonna be getting pretty bad this year and the next year. I don't know if this is true, but everybody keeps talking about this second moon that's coming through. I haven't had a day to even be able to look. But there's some meteor that's coming through and getting close to us, and it looks like a second moon. And if the moon is a rock in the sky, and you know how that has to do with the tides and all this and that, and really our mood and everything. That's why they always say it's a full moon. People are crazy, you know, because it does affect us. So if we're going to have this other moon coming through, what is going to happen with that? That just seems a little. Seems like it's going to get a little nuts if that's true. I don't know. I haven't looked into it any further than just kind of hearing it on TikTok. So who knows if it's true, but. No weather problems? Cool. You going to rant? What's going on down south, Robert? It's small, but it'll be in orbit for a couple months, yeah. But is that gonna affect things, you know what I mean? I'm curious if it's gonna affect things on the planet and us. Out of state helping a friend. Well, that's a good friend, 7 stacks. Your package is waiting. Sorry, I did ship it out Monday, I think. Oh no, yours went out Tuesday. It's only the size of the house? Oh. Size of the house. How we should be able to see that then, right? They were acting like it's something that we were gonna see. And then somebody even did a video where they were showing like 2 moons. I'm like, that don't seem right. Because it was like 2 full-size moons. And I'm like, huh? Because I did hear it was gonna be smaller than the moon. But I don't know. Then somebody else was talking about how you probably won't be able to see it. So, yeah, I don't know. Size of a house, though. That doesn't seem like it would do much. If there's anything that large coming, we're all in trouble. Yeah, for sure. Size of a bus. Well, damn. That's nothing. We probably won't see that. Anyway, let's get into this thing. See what we got here. I have to tip it on its side to get it out. That's actually upside down. Hopefully that little mess up here on the box was just the foam. Yeah, that couldn't have messed anything up. It was in a box, and the box it was in was like at least probably that much on both sides extra. And just, you know, nothing in it, just a box in a box. So here we got a crucible. So this is going to be a 3 kilogram, and then it comes with a 1 kilogram too. Nice. See, these I'm kind of nervous about because they're so long, and when I pour, I'm used to something half this size pouring it, and I'm just worried about that. You know, once you actually get it to the right spot, it likes to kind of shoot out, and that's my main thing I want to try to figure out. Being able to pour smooth, not have to go flying on me. So that's why I like the smaller one. I'm glad it came with both. That's cool. Yeah, that's a little more like what I'm used to. I wonder if you can get a half that's only like this big. For doing silver, that would be great. But I wonder if the element, it seems like the top's never as hot as the bottom, so that might not work all that great. It's definitely smaller on the inside. It goes straight down. Both of them go straight down, obviously. Definitely a big difference there. Then we got a pair of gloves. Of course, you got the plug. And I'm running an extension cord out to this. But, because that's what I do with all the lights out there. I have one cord for the lights, and then I have one cord for my dehumidifier. And then what I'll do is unplug the dehumidifier and plug this in. And it's only a 50-foot cord, and it's a 12 gauge. So you want to have the thickest cord you can get, no longer than 50 foot for doing anything that pulls a lot of power. Like even the welder, it's okay to use. Use it with a welder. I used to sell that kind of stuff. Extension cords and tools and fasteners. That's cool. It's got a little spring on it. There's a little spring right here. Can you hear that? Oh man. Dang, that sounded wet. There's a block over here. Some sort of block here. Oh, that's gonna be a mold. We can get it out. Or I should get the tape off that side too, huh? Where's the knife when you need it? There we go. It's a lot easier when it's not taped to the other side. Who would have thought? And that's what you get with that. That's pretty cool. I'll probably do a little arrowhead. If I ever do the 5 grams of gold, this one might be nice for that. But man, getting into that small little hole is going to be tough. I plan on using the gas furnace anyway, and then I have a small, it's a half. It's a number half. That's like the smallest thing I could find to do that sort of thing. Yeah, this is a 1 and that's a 3. 1 kilogram and 3 kilogram, I believe, is what it comes with. I didn't look at the book yet, but that's what I hear people saying. But they suck. I'm wondering if it kind of sucks because it's so high up and you kind of want it to be down for melting, you know? It just seems like this being lower down here would be better for melting, but I don't know. They said this is supposed to be like the upgrade, so might be better than those other ones. You had trouble pouring out of those, the little one? Robert? But yeah, it definitely has some cool little things there. That's probably about 1.5 ounces for the arrowhead. And then these are cool too because I could pour this and then hammer it. I've been wanting to do like a copper bracelet, and I could pour this and then hammer it flat and see what happens. I'd like to get one of those things where it's like there's like 2 rollers. I don't know what you call it. I guess it's some kind of press type of deal, and then you put it through it and you pull it. So I think you crank on it too, but it flattens it out, and then you make it a little bit smaller, put it through, make it a little bit smaller, put it through, and that's how they make those sort of things, I believe. The only thing about this stuff is every time you touch it, you end up with black stuff all over your hands. I wish they hadn't taped it though, because now they're sticky as hell. I don't like that. Yeah, the size of this is nice, man. I like how compact it is. Doesn't take up a whole lot of room. It actually tells you on the side. It tells you on the side right there how hot everything has to be to melt. Copper 1083, gold 1064, silver 961, aluminum 660, zinc 419, and tin is 231. See, I scratched a little bit off. And packing material. You never go wrong with extra packing material. So yeah, Pretty cool. Boom. Can you see everything? That's everything you get. You know, I was thinking about this thing over here. You can see the E is all jacked up. The C is pretty much gone now because it won't stick to it. They're like stamps, and the paint that I got for the stamps, it just doesn't stick to anything. So I think I'm gonna wipe that off because it keeps getting messed up. I'm tired of trying to stamp it. It looks pretty ridiculous though. So yeah, that's the on-off switch. This is your controls. Up, down, back, and set, and that's it. Not a whole lot to it. Now this definitely seems beefier than that cheap one I got. It seems like it's a lot thicker, and here it's probably double. Because remember, it cracked across the top. Now I watched a video the other day of somebody that got this exact one, and it cracked across the top, just like mine did. And he said that he reached out to him and they sent him another one, and he still had the old one. He was showing the old one and said, and then they sent me this. So their customer service is really good. Obviously, I haven't really messed with their customer service except when I asked them to send me one, because they were sending them out to people so that they would do a review. But I hadn't been back to YouTube yet. I told them I was about to come back and I would love to get one of their furnaces to review it and use it. But they said, man, you don't have any videos up recently, so no. But yeah, it's flat. So that is the difference. Before, like you could see down in there, was the heating element was in it. Like back here, I believe there was a little thing that would stick up, a little rod, and now that's gone. And I think it goes all the way around the whole thing, which might be why it heats up faster. I don't know what the original ones look like, and obviously I never had a book on that. But this will probably show you in the back here what the element looks like on the inside. Donde, where you at? Yeah, see? I don't know if this is what it looked like before. Well, see, there is like a little thing there, but I don't see that in mine. I don't know if this just went up on the edge inside of the old one, and now they wrapped it all the way around, or if this was just like the other one, and there just happened to be a piece inside too. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. It tells you how to open it up and change all this stuff out. I don't know how expensive the parts are if something does break, but probably cheaper than buying a new one. There's not much to it. I mean, that's a clip that holds that in. Looks like you undo a couple screws. That looks like it's probably the switch that they're, well, it might be both. And that's for the heating element. So it's pretty cool that they give you directions on how to fix it if something does go wrong. So SGT, when you got yours in, you had to heat those up first, right, before you used them? They say you can do it in here, but I think you can also just put it in the oven. Or does the oven get hot enough? I don't know if it was 500 degrees or 500 degrees Celsius, or if it was Fahrenheit. I think it was Celsius. Because I'm pretty sure I put it on 500 when I did that other one. This is maximum is 1150 Celsius. don't really see anything. Don't exceed 70% capacity of the crucible at any time. Overfilled crucibles can splash, break, become unstable if capacity is exceeded. That's good to know. I don't think I'd ever put more than 70% in it anyway. Alright, here we go. Preheat the furnace and crucible prior to use. Preheat should be conducted at 3 to 500 degrees Celsius for 3 to 5 minutes prior to increasing to operating temperature. Or is that just every time, or are they telling you that? Preheat the mold. Yeah, obviously you want to preheat your molds. So you want to take a torch to this before you pour into it, or it could explode. And you can see the moisture when you take a torch to something like this. You can watch the moisture just kind of go away. And there's been times where I wouldn't think there'd be moisture in stuff, and it just happens. It's like it pulls it out of the air somehow. It finds its way in there. Where I'm at, the moisture is ridiculous around here. I had to get all new brake lines not too long ago because they were all rusted out. That bay water is not good. It's like a lot of salt water in the air around here. And I wonder if that's why, you know how sometimes when you pour you'll get those little blue crystally looking, I don't even know how to explain it, but it almost looks crystally and kind of a blue tint to it. Like on the surface, it wears off pretty easy. But I wonder if that happens. I know it has to do with moisture, but I'm wondering if it's because that there is salt water, or there's salt in the moisture, being so close to the bay. Silver Oceans was talking about it one time, and somebody was just talking about it too. The Broke Stacker was just had it happen too. But I don't know where he lives. I don't know if he has salt water around him. Davey Olio, what's going on? 949. I had my face in the book for a minute there. Let me catch up a little bit. So I wonder the weight of normal cores be. Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm sure they'll be all over the place. And whenever you pour molds, especially into like graphite, things like that, they're always a little bit different unless you only put a certain amount in to begin with. That's why when I do like those hearts or my channel rounds, the 1 or 2 ounce, I'll do them individually. I don't pour it with a full crucible because they're not going to be the same. The only way to make them the same is if you only put that much in the crucible. And say if it's like a 2 ounce heart or a 2 ounce pour, I'll put 2.03 into it because you always lose a little bit anyway, just to make sure it's going to be over an ounce. 2.03, 2.04, just to make sure it's over. So, you know, you can make it what you want it to be. You just can't go over. And you will actually be able to get from the top of this, you'll be able to get it up probably another 1/4 inch before it starts to overflow. And then it'll be kind of rounded up on the top. There's nothing but the 3s. Never had a problem. Pour small 1 ounce pours with them. You just want to add a little more silver than you need. Gotcha. How you doing, 949 Designs? Hope all is well. Davey Olio, hope you're well. I appreciate you coming into the last auction and picking up a few things from me. As a first timer, always appreciate the first timers. Just put the same straight to work. Wait, put the thing straight to work. Only thing I did, slowly ramp up furnace, 3, 6, 9, 11, 25. Just did that once. Yeah, when I use the gas, I usually put it on like 1 for like a minute, and then I blast it. I just, I'm just trying to get the moisture out of it when I first put it in, because I'm sure there's probably a little bit of moisture just in the furnace itself, in the top and stuff like that. The brick on the bottom probably has a little bit of moisture in it. So I just turn it on at 1 for a little while, but that's really the only thing I ever do. But they say if you heat these up, I watched somebody talking about it in the video, where if you stick them in the oven and do that, like get it at a certain temperature, and I think it was more with the type I use, but I use the salamanders anyway, which last forever. I just now got rid of, well, I haven't got rid of it, I still have it, and it'll still work because it's still pretty thick. But it's got like this hole that's kind of starting on the side of it, on the inside, and I just don't want that to flake off and get into anything. So I finally retired it, but that's the first one I've retired. And I've poured probably 300 ounces of silver in that thing. So they last a long time. Definitely go with the salamanders. I want to see if I can get one of these in the salamander, because that would be amazing. But I don't know if they come like that. I've never seen them. And the salamander, where I get them from is PCM or PMC. I can never get that right. I think it's PMC. Sucks being dyslexic. I'm always messing that up. Leiden frost. Is that what they call it? Yeah, it definitely has to do with the humidity. I think a lot of things have to kind of align, like the temperature outside along with the humidity. I was just curious if it has something to do with salt from being so close to the bay and then the ocean. A lot of people that have had that happen, that's where we live. But like I was saying, I don't know. I think, where does Broke live? Is he in Ohio or something like that? So that wouldn't really be saltwater. I don't know. I don't know where he lives though. Got your package yesterday and your Hap Camper. I appreciate that. And I do appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Anybody that hangs out with me. There's 8 of you here. We got 9 likes. That's awesome. I do appreciate it. Idaho, yeah, that's definitely not that's definitely not the bay or ocean. Just put some corn out. I'm gonna see the deer right there. Nope. They're not out there yet. Guess we can take this out there though. Probably not gonna do any melting of like making pours today. I just wanted to unbox it. I'll make this too long, but I did want to hang out with you guys for a little while. So I might go out, fire it up, kind of get those going for a little while, and then let them cool down maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what we can do here. Plug. Let me take this. Uh-oh, I think we got a package. was that movie, Damon Wayans? He'd be like, package. Is that Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood? What a long title for a movie, huh? Package. Yeah, not for me. So what I did was I went to Temu the other day. I don't know how I got on that, but if you're looking for molds, man, I found so many cool things that were very inexpensive at Temu. Like just all kinds of stuff. Yeah, a lot of it has to do. It's like jewelry and things like that, but like necklaces, like skulls and. I think I got one that had a motorcycle, and then one that was just the engine of a motorcycle, which was cool. Little V-twin. That'll be a cool pour. But just they had so many things. So what happened was they were like, "Hey, it's $6." Or not $6. It was 6 things that you could get for free, and they give you a list of just all these things you could pick from. And I went through it for like probably an hour and a half, just looking at everything. And I ended up picking 6 things. Then I go to check out, and it's like, well, if you spend $60, we'll give you. Or no, it's like they would do like a 40% off or 50% off or something like that, but you had to spend $60. So I spent about $60 and got like 15 or 20 things that I can copy. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing to do there. But they have all kinds of things. You guys like the turtles? I got, I think, 12 different turtles coming. That was one thing. It was 12 necklaces. And they're not made out of anything special. It was like hard plastic probably or something like that. But most of them are metal. Most of the other stuff. But man, they just had some great deals, and I was like, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. The crucible don't last longer than 15, 20 pours. Dude, that's crazy. 15 or 20 pours, from what I hear. The mess from them breaking is big headache. Yeah, definitely don't want that. I could tell when I used that cheap one, I used it one time, and I could tell. You wouldn't think you'd be able to tell on one use, but I could definitely tell it was used. And I'm like, how is that possible? When I use the ones in the gas furnace, those salamanders, it has like a black paint on the outside of it. So they look different from the regular ones. But even the regular one, I use it, I mean, I could probably use it at least 50 times. Whereas 50 times with the salamander, you can't even tell that it's been used. So, I don't know. We need to look into trying to find a salamander for an electric furnace. I have to check PMC today, later on. But yeah, you don't want the silver to go to break out the bottom. I've never had that happen, and I really don't want that to happen. You know, gas does get expensive, but it's so much faster. And you really don't have to worry about that so much. Like, I've never really had anything break. And the crucibles just tend to be way better. But it just can't always use gas. It's way more dangerous. And you got that thing flaming out the top like that. I try to keep my gas tank on the other side of that door so that it's not even close. If I did get a leak coming out of the tank, it wouldn't be close enough to set anything on fire, you know, with the actual furnace. As soon as I see the crucible start to curve, Curve in the middle. I toss, replace it. Man, that's how expensive are these SGT? I've never bought one before. I hope they're not more than like $20 because if it only lasts that amount of times, that's not good. That's crazy. You would think you at least get like 40 or 50 pours out of something before it just broke. That's just you though. Yeah, I get it. I know you don't want to have the accident, and I could tell you I'll probably be just like you. I'm not going to want to take it to the limit. I've seen what happens. 7 stacks. I bet it is the salt. Oh, okay. They do have salt mines out there. Yeah, maybe. Bart, what's going on? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, more turtles. I got 12 more turtles. And they're all pretty cool looking, so about $25. Okay, that's not too bad. Especially if, and I would imagine that the 1 kilograms are probably smaller. The only thing about the 1 kilogram is the fact that it is smaller in width. And if you don't sit it, it's like you got to sit it perfectly on top of it. And you know all that stuff starts to wear out and break apart after, a couple burns. So, I don't know. I just get a little nervous about it. We're going to go out though. I need to fire one up. Ugh. It's been a while. I only smoked one today. Trying to cut back. It's been raining for the past couple days. Let me sit here for a second before we run in there. I might lose you for a second, but it'll come right back. Don't run from me. Don't run. See, it'll be fun kind of figuring this out and messing with it. If y'all watched that live stream I did when I got that other one, first use, it cracked. And we still haven't sent that back. They gave us the money, but she keeps forgetting to print the label out. So it's still sitting there. And then she tried to print the label and she couldn't find something, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. I'm kind of tempted to pull out and just use it to see what happens if you do use it when it cracks. You know what I mean? But I do want to get it back to them too. I'm curious if the elements are the same inside. Because a lot of times you're paying for a name. I don't know about furnaces, but that's why I went with that 190, because it was way cheaper than anything else. Now, sometimes they do use cheaper components, but sometimes they're exactly the same. It's kind of hard to tell. It's all from China. I don't know if there is a American-made furnace. Actually, the Devil Forge is American-made, but that's not. That's only gas. I don't think they make electric. OC, what's going on? Another great guy. We had a great conversation the other day, and we became fast friends as well. It's a good dude. I enjoyed our conversation. And 3D, thank you so much for sending this. Man, I never thought somebody would be so gracious. Is that the right word, gracious? I don't think that's the right word. Giving is kind of what I was thinking of, but you know what I mean. I've been kind of lost for words this past couple days. I think the Alzheimer's is starting. I'm only 45, but my grandfather passed away from Alzheimer's. My mother's got a terrible memory. My dad has a terrible memory. So yeah, OC, This is what 3D Woodworks sent me, and I'm gonna do a pour for him in return. But that pour is only like an ounce and a half. So, man, what a great dude to do something like that. I've never had anybody do something like that for me before. And I tell you, I picked this up, and then I went to the dollar store right after, and I pulled up, and I sat in the parking lot for a minute, like all teary-eyed. Like, this stuff means so much to me. It really does. And he wanted to bless me when we talked about it. He's like, don't think of it as like a handout or anything like that. Think of it as, you know, me blessing you. And then when I do stuff like this in return, I get even more blessings. And he's totally right. So now that I've been blessed, I want to try to do something to bless somebody else, and we can keep this train rolling. I think that's the only way to do it. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to save that for a video. You think I should? I almost want to do like a video format and do the whole thing. We can do one of them, and I can just save the other for another time. Well, there's only 5 of us here anyway. Well, 6, I guess, including me, but. So we're going to get busy, man. I want to try to, in the next couple days, I want to try to get the gas and the electric going. It'd be nice if I had somebody to help me out, where we could just really flow through and just keep things going. I wouldn't want my daughter to be out here helping me. She probably wouldn't want to anyway, but. It's kind of scary. I tell you, the first time I melted something down, I was shaking a little bit. Like it's kind of unnerving knowing that something can go wrong and you could have molten metal on your person, and that's not what I want. That's why I went all out when it comes to safety. And a lot of people don't do the whole face mask thing, but I was on TikTok watching a video that somebody posted, and he had a little bit of an explosion happen. And he pours real big stuff too, and I think it was aluminum he was pouring. And it hit him right in the eye. It didn't hit him in the eye, it hit his face mask right in the eye, or his visor. And watching that video, I was like, yes, I'm glad I do this, and I'll never stop, no matter what. Even if I don't put something on my body, I'm still going to cover my face. And I just have a hard hat, because we used to sell those, so I got a hard hat with the visor and then the visor holder that goes on the hard hat. Safety first. And I'll put my stickers all over it. Now I would like to get a better one. This is what I use. So this is one piece, and then this is a separate piece. But these things, they turn so much all the time, and it likes to turn up and then pop out. So I'd like to figure out how to make that not happen. Maybe I could put a little dab of super glue on it, just enough to hold it with something I could still snap off if I needed to. You know, what I've been using is welding gloves, which are about the same thing, really. The welding gloves does have leather, though, on the fingers, which I guess it's still leather, it's just a different type of leather. Tree ward had an explosion? Dang. Alright, SGT. I appreciate you stopping in, hanging out. Yeah, that. And then I put these on my shins and over my shoes, just in case. Because where I'm pouring about on a shelf. That's up about probably 2.5 feet. And so, you know, your feet are like right there. So if something does happen, I really don't want that to be in my shoes, you know. And then this bad boy, so it goes up my neck, goes all the way down my arms, and you can see how long it is. It goes down to past my knees, so I'm completely covered. But I tell you what, man, in the summertime, when it's 95 degrees outside in the summer, it sucks wearing that. It's like instant sweat. So I guess we do need to get this off, huh? It's supposed to pop out. There we go. But a lot of times when I'm doing small stuff and I'm just doing like 1 or 2 ounce rounds, I use the cup. And then I bought a bigger cup, which I haven't even used yet. It's ready to go. I seasoned it, but it's almost too big. Because when you're doing this in the center, you're trying to, and I use 2 torches, map gas. Sometimes I'll use 1 map and 1 propane, but it takes a lot longer. But you want to get the center of what you're doing. Like if the metal's all in here, you got to heat that up, but you also want all this to the edge being nice and hot and red too. That way it doesn't stick and it pours out. So I do like the smaller one. You can see I had some stick there. It always kind of happens. Seems like, not always, but a lot of times. But it would be cool. I think I'm gonna do this arrowhead at some point. When I make that video, I'll pour that arrowhead. And on that cheap one, when I opened it up, like it was all cracked around the top here. This one is way better. Definitely looks good. And a couple sprues left, so those will be melted down soon. We'll try to do an auction, probably not next Friday, but the Friday after. So whatever I can get done until then. I'm probably not going to have auctions that are like 6 to 8 hours anymore. I think what I'm going to try to do is keep it 3 to 4 hours, but have them a little bit more often. I was even thinking about maybe just doing it every Friday. Whenever I get done throughout the week, auction it off on Fridays. Or at least every 2 weeks. Because I've been trying to do it every 3 weeks. Sometimes it'll be 4 weeks, but I need to get to a place where I can get some more shot. Will Lamb, what's going on? Rich, what's happening? Appreciate you guys stopping in. So if you're just joining, this is something that 3D Woodworks sent to me. He bought himself one and bought one and asked if he could send it to me in place of me giving him a eagle pour that I did. Actually, let me go grab that. By the way, keep an eye out. I made like, I think 4 videos yesterday, so I'm going to post those. And I got a bunch of shorts that I posted for the past 2 auctions of my pours. So I'm trying to keep them around a minute and just showing the pour, because I don't have enough videos out there of my pours. Like I'll make a video before the auction showing what I have, but I need to get more of those type of videos out there. But this is what I'm pouring for him. It weighs about 1.5 ounces. So I'm pouring this in silver for him, and that's what he sent me in return. Is that not amazing? Really good dude. I can see we're going to be amazing friends. We had a great conversation and have lived a lot of the same experiences. And you know, when you meet people, like, you can just tell. I've always been great at reading people, even just through the phone. And he's good people. OC as well. I talked to him the other day, and he's a great dude as well. So I'm glad. Lady Braven, talked to her a little while through email, and man, she's a great person too. So it just amazes me that since I've been on YouTube for 4 years, the amount of friends that I have that I feel like I'll be friends with for life is pretty amazing. I mean, because in the real world, I'm really a pretty shy guy, to be honest. I'm trying to get out of that, but I don't get out there as much as I probably should. Lady, there you are, right there. I was just saying something about you. I enjoyed our conversations when we were emailing, and she picked up something from me too. You guys are awesome. I really do appreciate the support. It means a lot. Blistering Barnacles, what's going on? How you doing? 7 Stacks is another amazing supporter of the community and myself. Can't thank you enough for all that you've done for me. It really does mean a lot. But all of you, you know, just you guys being here and hanging out with me, it means the world to me. So I feel like I can never say thank you enough. But I'm going to keep saying it just because I love you guys. I really do. See, I don't know if I'm going to start using these or not. I kind of like the Lincoln. These are nice inside, though. Man. These feel really good on the inside. But I think when it comes to heat, it's not going to do much different from the other ones that I wear. Like I said, these are the other ones I've been wearing. These came with my welder. But yeah, I mean, they kind of feel the same, but these definitely feel new. Like the inside's just nice and soft. Red is my favorite color. Red and black, actually. I remember when that Michael Jordan basketball came out. This might show my age, but that red and black Michael Jordan basketball, man, I used to love that thing. I wouldn't play basketball without it. Man, I haven't played ball in years. Any kind of ball, really. The only ball I've played is throwing my tennis ball for my dog, trying to train him. Yes, 7 and OC both have the turtle. Oh, OC, I was mentioning earlier, I went on Temu the night before last, and they keep trying to do these deals where they'll give you like 6 things for free. So what happened was it was 100% off times 6. And then they give you all these things you can choose from. So I sat for an hour and a half going through like jewelry, necklaces, things like that. Things that I could make a copy of that would be in between like 1 and 2 ounces. And picked up quite a few things. I think there's at least 15 different things that I got. 6, 7, 8. So there was 8 different pieces, but some of them had 2. Some of them had 3. And the turtles, I got a bunch of turtles. And I think there's 12 turtles, and they're all different. So that'll be fun to do. So I might have to do a flying turtle line. Flying turtle number 2. Although I don't know about the flying turtle. I might keep those kind of at a minimum. So if I do like a line of different turtles, it might be without the sprue attached. The problem is with that, it's like I kind of need that to keep going. I need the sprues. When I leave the sprues on there, I'm leaving a lot of silver off the table that I could be using, you know. I mean, they do go for more that way, obviously, but... And I will be making more. Regardless, but... Just thinking out loud. OC said they took it to a show, and how many people wanted to buy it from you? I feel like you said 80 people were like looking at it wanting to buy it. I was like, dang, that's pretty awesome. And he still didn't sell it. So yeah, when I get that new stuff in, I'll make a video showing, and I'll probably show it in a live stream too, but showing you all the new stuff that came in, so we can do some new pieces. It's tough to do when you go from a prototype to a number one. I don't have enough people showing up to continue to make pieces, right? So once I get like the praying hands, I think I'm at number four now. So the next one will be a number five. I feel like I could probably sell that one in the auction because there's enough people that were interested. But some of the other stuff, like that bar, that was a number three, and that got passed on. The Griffin Lion bar. I didn't even realize that it was. I think it was only one auction before when I sold the number one. So it might have been a little early to do that one. They don't compare. Yeah. Well, when you say good welding gloves, you're not talking about what I have, right? I don't know what good welding gloves are, but these are the ones that I'm using. I do like these better. But they get hot, man. If you're holding something for a certain amount of time and it's hot, like there's a big ass bird flying in the woods back there. Is that a bird? What the hell is that? I don't even know if that was a bird. It might have been something crawling on a falling down tree or something. It definitely wasn't on the ground. There's always something to look at out here. The squirrels are sitting there eating all my freaking deer corn. So I met this guy. I sold a DeWalt caulking gun, and it was one of those that doesn't like fatigue your hand. It's supposed to be better than just a regular caulking gun. And I was selling it for $40 because I've never used it. It was brand new, and he offered me 30, and I was like, sure. If you come down here, I'll do it. So then he's like, well, he texted me a couple of days later. Well, not text through the app. A couple of days later, like, hey, I'm in this place and I'm coming down to here. Can you meet up? And I'm like, wasn't the whole point of doing it for $30 so that I didn't have to meet up? You know what I mean? People always do that stuff on OfferUp. Or ask if, or you'll get there and they'll say, well, I don't have cash. Can you take Cash App? And I'm like, this is something you should probably ask beforehand. I only accept cash. They even tell you on OfferUp if somebody asks you that. If they ask, can I pay with this? A thing will pop up telling you shouldn't do that. Or they'll try to give you your phone number and a little thing will pop up saying, don't give your phone number out. Be safe. They still do it. Leather will burn. Yeah, I guess if anything's hot enough, it'll burn. There he is, 3D. What's going on? Thank you, man. I really appreciate this. Been talking about it. I was trying to wait and see if you would pop in. But man, your generosity is amazing. It really, truly means the world to me. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Like, and I know I'm trading you something in return, but it's not even close to what you did for me. So I just can't say it enough. I really appreciate you. like I was saying, I picked this up and I went to the dollar store, man. And I had to wait a minute to go in a dollar store because I was all teary eyed. It's like nobody's ever done something like this for me, and I felt blessed. You know how when you think a certain thing or say a prayer sometimes or something good happens and you just get this like it's like the love of Jesus, like you just get this feeling all through your body. It's like tingly almost. That's how I felt. And I was driving down the road the other day and I saw an ambulance and I prayed for that person. I said, God, please don't let them die. If there's something happened, let them heal fast. Pray for their family, kind of thing. And this feeling came through my body after I said that, like I know God is real. I've felt that feeling quite a few times, and that happened to me again when I was sitting in that parking lot, man. And it really, it smacked me right in the heart, man. It means a lot to me. It really does. I feel like I keep rambling on it, but I can't say thank you enough. Broke Stacker, what's going on? Hey, Broke, remember when that we were talking earlier about the and I forgot what it's called. I have to go back. What do they call it? Some kind of hold on. We're gonna call it the right word here. Anyway, I think that you're in Idaho, if that's correct, and you have salt mines out there. I'm wondering if there's like salt in the air because we were talking about how those blue crystally looking kind of stuff. Man, I can't find what he called that. I don't see it. I don't want to waste too much time. But you know how you get that blue, like sparkly look to it sometimes, and I was thinking that I know that it has to do with humidity, but I was thinking because I'm so close to the bay and Silver Oceans has had it happen, and he's right next to the ocean, and I was wondering if it was the salt that's in the air, that's in the humidity. But then I was thinking about you, and you had it happen, but you're not really next to the bay or ocean. But then somebody said you were in Idaho, and there's salt mines out there, and I was just curious. Like, what do you think about that? You think that that's a possibility? I don't know how that would necessarily get into the air, but I guess it could. I don't know a lot about science, to be honest. But anyway, so yeah, he got one too, so that'll be cool. I want to see what you do, and you can see what I do. I'm gonna pour this probably first. The arrowhead, I like that. And then this one is really small. I think that's the smallest one I have. It is thick, but it doesn't matter. The depth doesn't really matter. The circumference I need to be small. So I have 5 grams of gold that I've been wanting to pour for a while, and I think this might be perfect for that. But it might be kind of hard to get it into that little hole. I guess I'll just do it this way, and if it happens to go in there, I can always start over, right? I only have exactly 5 grams though of 24 karat. I've got some other stuff that's not quite 24 karat, but I don't want to mix it. So I guess it could end up being a little bit under 5 grams. So that's one of those things I only want to pour once. I found that if you have something, sometimes you have to give it away in order to keep it. Man, I hear you. And that's what I was saying. You wanted to bless me. Because at first it was kind of hard for me to accept that somebody even wanted to do something like that for me. And the way you explain that, like, you blessing people just gets you more blessings in return. And I know exactly what you meant by that. And I've been there many times and felt it. And so, you blessing me kind of gives me the opportunity to maybe bless somebody else. And we're going to keep it going somehow. I don't know what, but we're going to keep it going somehow. And it's awesome, man. It really means a lot to me. So You're right, and I was talking about this a couple live streams ago. That I used to help this homeless guy. I didn't really talk about that. I don't think a whole lot, but I used to help him a lot, and it made me feel just as good as it probably made him feel by doing it, if not more. Ran into Joe Perry with Aerosmith on Burma Street last night. That's pretty cool. Man, he's definitely an idol of mine. I was into Aerosmith ever since I was born. I remember watching those MTV videos all the time they would come on. Every song they ever had, I liked. You got a selfie and autograph? That's cool. Your first concert was Aerosmith in '78. Dang, I wasn't even born yet. I was born in '79. Finally got back home. My comfy chair. Awesome. I need to sit down in a comfy chair. Man, my whole left side is all jacked up. Like my ankle and my hip hurt. Getting old. Oh, no salt mines in your area? Okay. Humidity was high that day, though. Yeah. Rhonda, what's going on? Big hugs. Blah. Big hugs and love to you as well. So if you're just joining, we got this TuAuto in from 3D Woodworks. I'm going to do a pour for him in return. This eagle. Is this the one that you wanted? The other one's a lot smaller. This one is a lot bigger. And so this one's about an ounce and a half, and this one's only a little bit over half an ounce, so I don't think that's the one you wanted. So I'm going to pour that for him. But what a great guy. He really blessed me on this. Can't say thank you enough, but we're going to do that for him very soon. And get that out. All right, bud. Be careful driving. See, it comes with these tongs that actually have a spring right here, which is kind of cool. My other ones don't have that. So it always stays open until you compress it. Came with the book, obviously. And then it came with these gloves. It came with this, which is pretty cool. What they usually come with is a small, cheaper one. And it's basically a couple bars and a couple rounds. So this is cool. I'm going to try to do that arrowhead for the first one. And then it comes with a 1 kilogram crucible and a 3 kilogram crucible. I might pick up a 2 gram just to see the difference, because I hear the small one is kind of hard to pour, but then I also hear that the big one sometimes is hard to pour too. When you only have a little bit left in it and you go to pour it out, it likes to kind of shoot out pretty fast. You got to be real careful doing it. It's hard with pours because you kind of do have to do it fast, but you can't do it fast. You got to get it exactly even, and then once it's even, then go fast. So it'll be a little tricky learning how to do it, but we'll get there. Oh man, I keep touching my face after I touch the crucible. See what we do in 3D, if you're still listening. We're going to take these and we're going to put them in at 500 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes and then let it cool down, and that's supposed to kind of get it started out. I don't know, some people say it makes them last longer. I've seen people actually do it in the oven. I mean, I don't even think my oven gets that hot though, to be honest. 500 degrees Celsius. That's pretty hot. I need to get a thing that tells me. See up here, I have this, so I would know melting points. Gold is 1947, silver is 1763, copper is 1981, aluminum is 1218, and brass is 1742. But that's all in Fahrenheit. So later on, I'm going to figure out in Celsius what all that is, because I don't think you can change this. I've seen furnaces where it allows you to change it, but I don't think this one does that. But it also tells you on the side here how hot everything needs to be in Celsius, so I guess I really don't need to worry about that. Silver is 961 is what it says. And I know a lot of people will do like 10 or 1050. Make it hotter just to make sure everything has a good flow to it. When I tried to use that cheap one, I did it at that. I think it was actually 1025 maybe is what I did. And when I poured it out, it still kind of seemed a little bit clumpy. And that was silver, so definitely going to experiment a little bit and try to figure out exactly what I should have it at. And then once it gets the temperature, because I'm sure if I did like 970, right, that should be enough to melt it. But I'm sure once it got to 970, I probably have to wait 10 minutes once that happened to be able to pour. Okay, yeah, it's kind of cool that it tells you right here on the side too. I forgot about that at first. Right. Broke, yeah. That's what I was going to do. Just put it at 500 with the crucible in it. And just turn it off, let it cool down slowly. You might as well do it with the crucible in there. Because they say you're supposed to do it with the crucibles anyway. But then other people say that they don't do that, so I don't know. I think it's better to be safe than sorry, right? I think SGT said he doesn't do it, but then he also said that his only lasts 10 or 20 pours. Or 15 to 20 pours or something like that. So Broke Stacker, you've been using these for a while. How long does one last for you? And I know copper tends to wear them out a lot faster. And that's pretty much what you've been doing. So what do you think it is before you retire one? How many pours do you get out of it? $1,000 for silver, $1,100 for copper. Okay. Have to try that. I think SGT said he does 1,050 for silver. And then I also heard 1,000, so I think I did 1125 to just be in the middle. But then I cracked the thing. And I did heat it up first. I heated it up for a while and then turned it off and let it cool down, and then I went. So I'm thinking maybe I need to give it 24 hours, because that day I was live, I didn't let it probably get completely cold. And maybe that's why it cracked. Who knows? I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I heated it up and then sat here and hung out and talked for a little while, let it cool down, and then turned it on to try to do a melt. Man, I just noticed that I have a bunch of target practice things that I totally forgot I even had. for like a 22. Check this out. I totally forgot I had this thing. It's been hanging up in the shed, and I just noticed it a couple minutes ago. Like, what the hell? When did I buy that? I have to break the pellet gun out, or the 22. Do some target practice. I got a little thing out there too, a piece of metal. It's like a quarter of a circle kind of thing, you know. So when you shoot it, it goes straight down into the ground, which I really don't need that anyway, but I like it because it makes a little ping sound when you hit it. And I have a target hanging in the front of it. But yeah, I bought a bunch of that stuff from Walmart, but it's inside in a bag that I have. And I have like these little rabbits and squirrels and things that you just kind of stick in the ground and set up. And then a bunch of like plastic, that's more for like a pellet gun though. I used a 22 one time and they got stuck in it. But it's like beer cans or beer bottles, but it's not a bottle, it's plastic. Target practice is fun. I think we're gonna have to do a video. Now that hunting season starts, it's kind of hard to do that. Like after hunting season, I'm gonna have to go make a video. Hanging out with some pew-pews and shooting some stuff. I got that GoPro now. I did a video of that the other day, so I got to post that. Although I just kind of did a video unboxing it and showing what it came with. I didn't really get into specifics of anything. There's plenty of videos out about that, so I'm kind of on the fence of should I even post it. But I did a couple unboxings, so I'm going to post those. I got some shorts I want to put up that I've been doing of this last auction and the other pieces I did, except for the ones that the OC got. Man, I when you got those later, I had already sent out all the other stuff, and I forgot to take a video of those, man. It's like, dang it. I'm trying to get more videos done of actual pours so that people can go through my shorts and see like the things that I poured and show it with the COA. And I started doing them on TikTok. I posted 2 to TikTok. But I got a lot more to do. I want to go on Clapper, Instagram. I'm trying to post the pictures of everything front and back with the COA. But I'm very behind on that stuff. I've got to get caught up soon. Oh, okay, OC. Have a great evening. Line is the older square bottom unit. Yeah, that's what I hear. It gets hotter faster. I think it even gets, like the max temperature is a little bit more, I believe. Yeah, I think this one goes to 1150. The terminal coupler for the heating element seems to be the failure point. I think what we might do is heat. It's not too bad. There's a little bit of play there, but it seems like it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Like this one is pretty much straight in there. This one's also different. Broke the inside of it is different. Silver Oceans was showing it. the inside, there's that little element or something that popped up on the side there. This one doesn't have it, and it doesn't really go in on the edge. It's almost straight down. Like there's a little bit of a lip, but not much. So whatever they did there, I think is what made it better. Yeah, I could see how that could happen. Hopefully we got a good one. Nice thick cord. And if you're going to use an extension cord, always use a 12 gauge yellow and no longer than 50 foot. Even with a welder you can use that, but they tell you not to go over 50 feet. So I think what we'll do is put this in and we'll heat it up. And then I'll save the big one for when I make a video unboxing. I want to make a video unboxing and showing it as well. I don't want this light getting hot. Kind of lights it up a little bit. Dang, it's already going. Set. Hold on. There we go. 0. Okay. 200. 500. All right, there we go. You see that good? I feel like the text is kind of... Heat this bad boy up, and then we'll have one ready to go. And then you can see the difference too from... And that'll be good when I make that video. I can show what one looks like after it gets heated up one time, and then what the other one looks like brand new. Because I did notice a difference when I did that other one. That one only came with one though, so I couldn't look at a new one next to it, but you could definitely tell after one burn, it looked a lot different. And that was heating it up to 500, letting it cool down a little bit, and then doing a melt. It's pretty fast though. I mean, we're getting pretty close to 100 already. What do you think, Broke? Is this seeming like it's faster than what you got? You got the one with the 2 handles on the side, right? I have to say, I do like that it has handles on the side. Like if it's still hot, you got to move it around. I do like that. But, you know, at the same time, it's so much bigger. I like how compact this is. Ten minutes isn't bad. I know a lot of people were saying like a half an hour in 40 minutes. I was watching a video earlier today, and they said that it was like 50 minutes to melt copper with one of the older ones. $10. That's why I never wanted to get one of these in the first place, because my gas furnace usually takes about 10 minutes. And I'm too impatient to be waiting a half hour, 40 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm one of those people where I like to kind of have everything done and then go to the next step. So turning on the furnace, getting everything melting, and then going to get the sand ready, because you never know how long it's going to take with sand. Sometimes it's fast, and other times it might take an hour to get everything set up right for the pour. Because the more work you do with the sand to get it right when you pour, the less cleanup you have to worry about later. So I try to put that extra time into getting the sand ready. I'm surprised it didn't come with one of these little mixing things. I have one already. I think I bought this separately just to have. Like mix stuff up. But you really don't need to do that very often. Especially with silver, you definitely don't need to do it. But with copper, if it's got some kind of impurities in it, mix it up, let all that stuff kind of rise to the top, and then you can get that off, get that slag out. I tell you what, man, I got some stuff from Pirate one time, and I don't know what that stuff was or where he got it from. It was a full bag of shavings, but they were like really oily. And so trying to melt it down, like I pretty much ruined the crucible trying to get it to melt down. I might even have that. Look at the difference. I don't have a good enough light here. But see, these are the regular crucibles. You see how they get kind of pitted up like that? That's a regular one. Now check this out. These are the salamanders. This thing right here, I've poured close to 300 ounces in, and it still looks like the day I got it. The inside's starting to get a little bit like that. See where the shadow is, like right in the middle? There's that little round spot right there. That's kind of getting messed up. It's starting to poke in a little bit, and I just don't want that to mess anything up, so I've retired this one. But usually they look pretty bad by the time you retire. Like this thing, look at that thing. What the? But look at the inside. There was so much slag and junk from that stuff. It just kind of ruined this thing. I mean, I could probably still use it if I had more of that stuff, which actually I think I do have a whole nother bag of it. I got aggravated with even trying to use it. And then this is the regular one I was using for copper. And you can see there's still some stuff that sticks to it every now and again. So what I did is I pulled out a salamander. So this is my salamander for copper. And it always kind of sticks a little bit, but this one will last a whole lot longer. Man, it's already to 500. Holy crap. That didn't take no time. I don't have a clock on me. Shoot. I need a clock out here. It says almost 4:30. This thing is set a little fast though. Bro, did you say 15 minutes? Or was it 10 minutes? Let's see what this book says. See, this says 3 to 500 degrees Celsius for 3 to 5 minutes, but that's prior to increasing the operation temperature. So I guess that's what you're supposed to do in the beginning before you actually pour. Do you do that? It says preheat furnace and crucible prior to use. Preheat should be conducted at 3 to 500 degrees Celsius from 3 to 5 minutes prior to increasing to operating temperature. And then it tells you to preheat the molds and everything too. I'm wondering how many people just kind of skip that step. And maybe if you don't skip that step, it'll make it last longer. I don't know. We're going to figure it out, though. That's what this channel is all about when it comes to pouring. A lot of times it's me trying to figure stuff out. It's not always just, hey, this is how it's done, because I am not a professional. We'll get there, though. To 45 minutes, dang. This definitely does seem like it's fast. Dang, it went up to 5:55. I thought it was supposed to stop itself. I mean, obviously it did, because it would keep going. But yeah, when I got the little clock, it said 4:29. But is it, what did you say, is it 10 minutes or 15 minutes? 10 to 15 cycles for your TuAuto crucibles. Okay. What if we should just do 10 because it went up to 50 something? 550 something. Or 12 and a half. 13 minutes. I don't feel like it can hurt it. It is starting to smoke a little bit. They said that would happen. Just chilling along. I appreciate it. We're just hanging out, doing a first burn. Thanks again to 3D Woodworks for hooking a brother up. I appreciate it so much. Dove season, what's going on? How you doing? Hope all is well in your beautiful area of the world. Been doing any hikes recently? It is coming down slowly. What did it get up to? 5:55. We got 18 likes. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. She's smoking a little bit. She got this deer antler I found. The mice got to it. Nice little 8-pointer. Did a local 6 mile. That's cool. South Mountain on Sunday. Nice. I just got a GoPro a couple months ago for my birthday, so it's the creator edition of the said like 12 black or something like that. The thing is awesome. So I want to put some use to that. Do a little bit of hiking, go through some parks, do some might even take a bike, because I have an attachment. I can hook it up to a bike, but I'll probably just put it on either my head or my chest anyway. But I got all the attachments and everything for it, so that'll be fun to start doing videos, getting out and about. Now that the weather's breaking a little bit, it's perfect weather for that. Maybe go do some fishing. Shoot, we might even do a little hunting. I was thinking about on opening day of gun season, I might just go live and hang out with you guys, because I have a microphone, so I can like be sitting there whispering to you and you'll be able to hear me fine. That might be boring though, unless we see something come in. I'm not sure how YouTube is on the actual pulling of the trigger. I know people do it in videos, but I think live streaming, they'd probably kick me out. I did that short video. You couldn't see anything though because it was so far away. That deer was probably 65 yards away, just through a phone. So you really couldn't see. You could tell that I hit it because it jumped up and kicked his back legs out. But I know if you try to do that stuff on TikTok, they have this like cruelty to animals thing where they'll kick you out, even showing it. You can't even show blood or anything like that, even if it's one that's already done. Like even if you're already through the process of pulling the trigger, you can't show certain things. Whoa. You hear that? What's it doing? It says out. Oh, I guess this is letting me know it got back to temperature. Every time it does that, though, the light dims a little bit in here. That's off a different plug, too. Well, it's two plugs that I have outside, and one is for the lights and one is for this. I hope it doesn't trip something. We're learning here. Grr, today is going to be one of those days, I guess. Be back in a bit. All right. Hope everything's okay. Yeah, this little flashing light is saying out. Yeah, the GoPro is sweet, man. It's a new one too, and it's a creator edition. So it comes with a little selfie stick that's actually like a tripod too. And it has a light, has a microphone attachment that goes over it. I guess if it's windy or something, it kind of knocks that down a little bit. But it has this like anti vibration kind of thing too. So if you're like riding a bike and it's jumbling around a lot, it stabilizes pretty good. I did an unboxing of it, but I didn't do any videos or anything. I did turn it on to see if I could make videos with it, showing coins and stuff, but it's too far away. Like the phone is a lot closer. It's too big of a screen. And you can't really zoom with it, as far as I know. I don't think you can zoom with a GoPro. I think it just is what it is. But it's cool. It has a screen on the front and a screen on the back. So if you're looking at yourself, you can see what it's looking at. You back? Yeah, so it's flashing this out button here. Every time it does it, it dims the light a little bit in here. So I have two cords coming from, it's one plug, but it's two different plugs. You know how you get two plugs in an outlet. So it's one outlet, but it's two plugs. And I have one with a 50-foot cord going to this, and then I have a 100-foot cord that comes to the lights. That's how I have power out here. I'd like to set it up right at some point, but electricity work is expensive. But as long as I have a 12 gauge cord that's not over 50 foot, even my welder I can use with it. But I probably would want to turn all the other lights off, just in case. Alright, so now it's sticking right at 505, and it quit doing the out button. It's not flashing anymore. We're at 440, so it's been about 12 minutes. It is still smoking a little bit. You hear that? It's definitely making some little noises. There's no way I'm going to have two furnaces that burn up the first time. I don't think that's possible. Well, it didn't burn up. It just cracked. Can you guys hear that? Every time that light flashes, it's like burn, burn. I don't really feel any heat. I think that heat shield works pretty good. I think I can almost kind of feel it a little bit through the glove. Pulls 15 amps. Because of the higher humidity in your area, it may be a good idea to break it at 500 for 20 minutes. We can do that. Getting close to 15 minutes here. Oh, let me show you. With Halloween coming up, I pulled out some of the pieces and some other stuff too, but this is a ghost. It's kind of small, but these sugar skulls, I was thinking about gluing them together. And maybe even leaving a little bit of a sprue on it so it'll stand up. Like I did with the lady. It was just a little bit, but enough for her to stand. I've been wanting to do this guy for a while, but man, it's going to be a lot if I do it in silver. I might just press his face down into the sand and kind of make like a little, I guess it'd be kind of like a round. And I was thinking about these things. I got these from the dollar store. I was like thinking about doing those in copper. I think that's pretty cool. Does anybody know what this is, by the way? Isn't this like some kind of Celtic symbol, or am I wrong? I was looking up Celtic symbols and I never saw this one. But if anybody knows what that is called, please let me know. I have no idea. Yeah, we got this skull, and then this Punisher thing is pretty cool. It's big though. I'll probably do that in copper. Got a couple pew-pews there, and then these witches. Like a little Halloween type of deal. But I haven't done any of these pew-pews yet. Now these I was thinking about gluing to a round, and I'll show you what I mean. The problem is last night I was looking at it, and this is it's kind of see-through, right? So that sand is gonna want to go right into it, but I was gonna glue it to this. I thought that'd be a pretty cool looking round. But the sand is going to go in there and get stuck and probably look stupid, so I don't know if that's going to work. Now that I'm thinking about it. Unless I try to do something on the back end where I glue it somehow. I don't know. I don't know if it's even possible to figure that out. And then I have this one. So she's a little mermaid. And I thought that would look kind of cool. Around possibly. I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with something that's different, that's new. I also have these smaller ones, but somebody stamped them. They were practicing stamping. I had an engraver. I wanted to see what. It's really hard to control. I tried to do a little CC there just to see. This one is actually a better size, so this is a 1/2 ounce. But because that skull's there, I might have to try to make something in wood and then glue it to it. That might work better. Like make a round out of wood, because I kind of want it to be a little bit thicker than this anyway. It's kind of tough to pour when something's really thin, because it'll be a sand cast. And I feel like this is almost too big. I don't know. This one, man, that would look cool if it didn't have all the holes in it. If it was solid on the back, man, that would look awesome. little Halloween round, little spider round. I might be able to just put some hot glue on it and then stick this on top and hope that the glue doesn't pop through the holes too much. That's the only problem, because if it does that, then I'm kind of screwed with the whole thing. I have to start over after I get all the glue off. Decisions. It's hard to come up with new stuff. It's French. Flower de lis. Is that how you pronounce that? New Orleans. Yeah, that's the Saints thing, right? Now that I'm thinking about it, that makes sense. That's probably where I saw it. Is that what that was? Was that on the Saints helmet at one point back in the day? Maybe it's still like that. I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of football. I try to watch the Ravens when they play, but I gave football up a few years back. And last year I watched all the games because they won that first game and I happened to catch it. So I kept watching. And they had the best season all year and then ended up screwing up in the playoffs. But yeah, now hockey started again, man. I'm trying to get into hockey. I don't know when opening night is for the Caps. They played the other night, so it's got to be soon. It might be tonight. Need to check into that. Lost wax, man. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. It's just, it's really expensive to get into. It's probably going to cost $2,000 to get everything, because you got to have a 3D printer that will print wax. And I think it's like a wax PLA mix maybe or something like that. I don't know, but it has to be able to burn out. Then you got to get a furnace, a front loader furnace to burn it out. I don't know how much the plaster costs, so that's another expense. Then the machine that you get that like vibrates it and sucks the air out of it, whatever that's called, that's like $700 or $800 for that machine. This furnace would work for that. So, I mean, even my other furnace will work. Any furnace will work for the actual pour. But you got to get a burnout furnace. You got to get a 3D printer, the stuff to print. And there's something else that I'm not thinking of. I mean, I do like those top loaders that are stainless steel, those furnaces. If I was going to do it, I'd like to get one of those at some point. But you don't need that. You can use any kind of furnace, really, for the actual pour. But you need a front loader furnace to melt the wax out. So that's what you do. You put the wax, your mold, and it's a wax mold. You put it into, it's like a cylinder that has circles in it, just like this, but a lot smaller, more circles. So you have your cylinder, you put your piece in it, and then you have to get wax and kind of build it, like with the sprue and everything. And then you fill it up with plaster, let the plaster harden, then you stick it into the furnace, it melts out the wax. So then you're just left with the plaster with the hole in it, and then you pour it in. And then there's in between processes too, where you got to stick it in. It's like a tube, it's like a big tube that you stick it in, and then I guess it sucks the air out of it or something as it kind of shakes it, I think. I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but so I don't know all the steps. But man, it is cool. I would like to do it at some point. It's just a lot of money to get started on it. All right, bro. Appreciate you stopping in and hanging out. Well, it's been almost 20 minutes. It's probably good. See what it looks like in here. It's not hot. Then again, it's not all the way to temperature either. I don't think we're going to see it red. Nah. The top looks about the same, so far so good, I guess. So we got one ready to use, and then I'm going to do a video, kind of like an unboxing video in that format, something a little bit quicker. And then the other one back here, the bigger one, I will we'll do this first burn with that, and that way I can show what this one looks like after doing the burn on that, and put them side to side to see if there's any difference. I don't think there will be. I think you got to get it all the way up to temperature before that happens. But yeah, I'd like to look into seeing if I can get a salamander with the material I was showing you that I use in the gas furnace, because those things last forever. That would be amazing. Trying to see where I have that. Oh, right here. So I have this too. It has this extra little thing on it. I've been using this with my regular crucibles for gas. I don't know if it'll work for this. Yeah, it doesn't even close. You don't need that anyway. But I've been using it for this. It's just a lot easier to pour than those big ass things I was using before. This is what I normally use with gas, and they're just so big. It's like overkill and a half. See, when I do that video, I'll pull this out and use one of theirs. This is what came with it, and I'll probably pour that arrowhead. And I guess I'll do silver. Should I try silver and copper, or just silver? I don't know. Maybe I'll do one of each. Write down the time, see how long it takes for it to heat up, and get everything ready to go. I wish I could play with it a little bit more before I actually do the unboxing video and a first burn kind of thing, because I'll know what I'm doing a little bit better to see if you do have to wait a little bit for it once it gets hot. Because I don't think I waited. When I had that one that broke that one time, I heard it crack, and once I heard it crack, I was like, oh crap. And I pretty much poured when that happened. It got to temperature, it cracked, and I was like, oh crap, that's not good. So I didn't like let it sit at temperature for 5 or 10 minutes before I poured. I don't know if I should have done that, or if because I feel like I should have did that, because when I poured it, it was a little clumpy when it came out. It wasn't fully liquid, if that makes any sense. It wasn't really clumpy, but it just wasn't fully liquid like it is when I do gas. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to try it a couple times to make sure I can get it good enough to put it in the video. But I'm going to start posting more videos. I've got a couple that I did yesterday. I need to post those. I'll put some shorts out. My phone, it keeps locking up on me every time I try to post a video. By the time I get to the description and type in for like a minute or two, it starts to lock up. Well, it doesn't start to lock up, it actually locks up. Like if I'm typing on something and I hit like S or something like that, the S button will be, you know how it gets bigger when you hit a button? It'll be big and it'll just stay big like that. It won't let me do anything else. I can touch the screen a million times. There's nothing I can do except get out of it and start over. So every time I post a video, I got to go back into Studio in order to put a description in. So if you ever go to a video and I just posted it, maybe come back in like 10 minutes if you want to see what the description is all about. Because a lot of times I'll try to put people's like links to people's channels and stuff. And the only way to do it is to post it and then go back and do all that, which I think I had to do that before anyway when it comes to the links. But we did get 18 likes. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Probably going to end this in a little while, pretty soon here. I'm going to finish this cigarette and then go in and post some of these videos and try to get some of that stuff done. Try to figure out what we're going to be pouring next. Next Thursday, I'll definitely be pouring something. I might even start doing Tuesdays again, but I might come on whenever. I might do another late night with Cap on a Saturday night or something. You never know. If I get a bunch of stuff done, I didn't get much done this week, but it's been more about shipping and kind of taking care of some other stuff, trying to get some videos done and things like that. But next week I'll be going nuts with pouring as much as I possibly can, and I want to have a pretty good amount of copper pieces in my next auction. So I'm gonna shoot. I'd like to try to do something next Friday, but it'll probably be the Friday after that. Just have to see what I can get done. Computer wants me to do an update. You never see me again. My computer's been telling me I got viruses on everything. So I have an antivirus thing, and all of a sudden it was up, right? I think it lasted 2 years, and it was up. And ever since that happened, they keep telling me that I'm hacked here and I'm hacked there. But I think it's bull. I don't think it's for real. I think I haven't had any issues. I think they're just trying to get me to buy more software. They want to charge me for a new subscription for 2 years. I mean, it was telling me something was hacked that I don't even have, and I'm like, yeah, something's not right. Dinner time. All right. Dave Iolio, I appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us. I'm going to be getting off here soon, too. I try to go for 2 hours, and we're about 8 minutes over that. It'd be nice if we could hit 20 likes, though, before I go. So I'm going to hang out for another couple minutes, see what happens, but I'll be ending this soon. I do appreciate you guys. And thanks again to 3D Woodworks. Man, what an awesome guy. He blessed me, and it feels amazing. So we're going to try to keep that going and maybe bless somebody else with something. I don't know what we're going to do. We got to figure it out. But, man, what an awesome furnace. I really love this thing. I can't stop looking at it. Anybody else do that whenever you get something new? Even when you're not using it, you just find yourself just looking at it. I don't know why I do that. I get a new guitar, I'll be just sitting there looking at it. Not playing it, just looking at it. Like, man, it's so beautiful. I'm goofy. I'm surprised these deer haven't came in yet. I was kind of hoping they would pop in. The squirrels sure are taking care of it, though. They're tearing that corn up. Man, these squirrels have been coming in, and they've been coming about 4 or 5 yards away from me. And I'll throw a piece of corn out to it, and then they'll just sit there and wait for me to keep throwing corn out to them. I haven't got them to come up to my hand or anything yet, but so the deer do that, and the squirrels do that now. It's pretty funny. I got all kinds of friends that are not human. The deer, man, they'll get that. The little doe the other day, I thought she was going to come over to me and eat out of my hand. I had the thing in my hand, and I got some into my other hand and was holding it out to her, and she started to come over to me. She took about 3 steps and then was like, nah, and turned around. And that was probably about 7 yards. That's the closest I've ever been to a live deer, other than a baby I came across that was sleeping one day. I almost stepped on her and walked by her. I was like, holy crap. She wouldn't even open her eyes. She just acted like she was sleeping. I don't know if she was playing dead or what. I mean, she just came out. She was tiny. I guess waiting for Mama to come back. Mama was going to find some food or something, I guess. I don't know. Looks like something Doc for Back in the Future invented. If I sit in your backyard, will you toss me a steak? Sure. You know, I've been telling you guys about the deer burgers I've been making, man. I used to always just make deer burger with spaghetti or, things like that.
I never actually made a burger out of it because I was always told they didn't taste that great. But I take I take all my deer to a butcher that's in the back of a grocery store, and so they know not to use fat from the deer because deer fat is gross. They'll mix in beef fat, and then I got this Sours hamburger mix that I mix in with it, and then I'll chop up like 3/4 of an onion and mix it all up into like a pound. And man, let me tell you, it is so good. Like even regular beef burgers don't taste this good. And I did use that stuff with beef one time just to see what the difference was. And I think the deer was actually better. I was uh I was surprised that they were so good. And I got a crap ton of stuff in there. I got stuff from the year before that's been sitting in the freezer for like 2 years. And yeah, it'll start to get freezer burnt, but so far there's only been like a little corner or something, right? I'll pull that off and throw it away. But the rest of it tastes fine. I even had some sausage. I had a bunch of sausage and we never ate any of it. So I just pulled that out and been going through it and trying to make it. It's a little spicy, but it is good. I like spicy, but I can't get nobody else to eat it. And it's so good too, man. I keep trying, but they just don't. They won't do it. They like the burgers though, and the steaks are good. I always cook a good steak. And so with the steaks, what I do with deer is I soak it in water. I used to soak it in salt water, but I don't do that anymore. I just soak it in water, and even with the burger, I'll rinse it with water and I'll press on it and try to get all the blood out of it because that gamey taste always comes from the blood. It's not from the meat. It's from the adrenaline in the blood. So, you know, when you pull the trigger on a deer and it gets hit, they usually run a little bit until they die. And so it's got a lot of adrenaline pumping through its blood, and that's where that gamey taste comes from. So if you try to get all the blood out of it, and like even with the steak, I'll just soak it in water for like 15, 20 minutes, and then press it out, rinse it again, press it out, and just try to get all that blood out. And it's great, man. It tastes good. I even got my mother eating deer steak, and she would never eat that before. I think she even tried one of the burgers last time I made it. So that says a lot to somebody that would never eat deer. Now she kind of likes it. It's just the sausage nobody else really will try. It's a whole plutonium. Yeah, it does kind of look like that. Oh, we got 20 likes. I appreciate you guys. That's awesome. Thank you. It's about 5 o'clock now, so I'm probably gonna end this. I might pop on at some point. That's kind of off times from when I normally do. So keep an eye out. Make sure you hit the bell. So when I go live, I got some quarters to do a. I got $100 in quarters that I want to coin roll hunt with, and then I got $100 in ones. I was going to do a bill search, but they're all sequential, brand new bills. I should have had her change it out for me, but there was somebody behind me, and I didn't want to be that guy. So I figure I'll go swap it out later, unless anybody wants $100 in sequential order. It starts at 0 1 and goes up to it's 301 and it goes up to 400. Now, if they had been star notes, that would have been nice. Those would definitely sell for over face value. With a brand new strap of just regular 2017 dollars. They really don't have even. Sometimes you'll get one or two out of a stack like that. You'll get one or two cool notes, but these numbers, I haven't looked through them all yet, but I don't think any of them really have any kind of fancy serial number. I did come across one the other day. I don't know if you guys are into bill searching, but I came across one the other day that had all different numbers in it, and when you look it up, it'll tell you that the coolness factor is like 90%. But having a high coolness factor doesn't necessarily mean it's more than face value. But it had all different digits, and it's only, I think, 1.2% of bills have all different numbers in it. Now, it wasn't a broken ladder because it was missing one number, but I think it was like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was missing the 6, and it had 7, 8, I think, or 79. I don't know, something like that. So it was all 8 different numbers, but I don't think that's anything people are really into. But yeah, I haven't done a bill search in a long time. I'm gonna get back into that. I have some pennies too, so I might do a penny search. I think I only have like $10 in pennies, but that's a lot of pennies to go through because a roll is only 50 cents. And I have found some pretty cool quarters recently. I found a W recently. I found some die chips on the nose of the Betsy Coleman. I found 2 of them. So one was when it first started, and it's just barely a little bit of a crack, and then it's a cud on the other one I have. So that was a pretty cool find. And I've seen those going for $25 in the middle of what I have with both of them. So not quite as good as the chip, but better than the crack. And that was just for one at $25. I was thinking about putting both of them up in an auction next time. I almost did it in this auction, but I wasn't really sure what to put it up for. I think it's probably definitely worth probably $35 for both of them. But it's hard to find people that are looking for that stuff. A lot of people come for the pours, and I do have other stuff and coins and things I put up. But I'm trying to get it to be in more of the pours and not going for quite as long and just doing them a little more often, because I'm going through my stack, man. I tell you, I've sold a lot of my stack off, and the point of stacking is to keep it and get more of it. But we got 21 likes. That's cool. My likes are old enough to drink. And by the way, still haven't drank. I haven't drank in a while now. When I came back about 7 months ago, I had said that I wasn't drinking, and I wasn't. And then kind of started dabbling a little bit, having a few beers here and there. And it really was making me feel like crap. So it's been about a month that I quit doing that. And I'm staying on the program, man. I still smoke a couple cigarettes throughout the day, but that's it. That's my vice right now. And eventually I am going to quit that too, but I'm over the drinking thing. I don't drink to get drunk ever, but I drink to kind of loosen up and not overthink everything and kind of, be more outgoing with a little bit of a buzz. I don't like to be drunk. I get drunk, I feel like sick. I feel like I'm sick a lot of times. So I don't like being at that point. But it's still not good for me to even do that, because then I start to feel like I need it to do anything, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm trying to put myself in uncomfortable situations without the drink to get back to where I was a few months back. So that's a little bit of an update. Back on the wagon. But I did fall. I'm human, just like everybody. I fell a little bit, but I'm trying to stay on the right path. Meditation, prayer every day, grounding, cold showers every day. All of that stuff helps. And then coming on here and hanging out with you guys and talking about it every now and again helps a lot too. And some of the people I've been talking to recently through emails and on the phone, some of my new friends I've made over the past couple weeks, being able to talk about things like that, man, it's awesome, and it definitely helps me out. So thank you for that. Thank you again to 3D Woodworks for sending this to me, man. What an amazing person. I really appreciate it. I want to get your pour done in return very soon. But your generosity is second to none. It really means a lot to me, so thank you for that. And I'll be posting a video separately from this and doing a pour with it. And then we're going to get busy making some pours for the next auction. So definitely on Thursdays at 2:30. I'll be live Eastern Standard Time, pouring or talking about pouring or just hanging out, maybe do a coin roll hunt. Who knows? I might be at a park sometime. Who knows what we'll do? But I try to always go live at least every Thursday. And like I said, I might start doing Tuesdays here and there. We'll see what happens. But I'm also going to start trying to go live on other platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Clapper. So check me out on those platforms. You can go to my main page, and it gives you links for all that stuff. So feel free to stop by and check me out over there. Make sure you hit the bell so you know when I put videos out or go live. And other than that, man, I appreciate each and every one of you. You know, this community means a lot to me, and I do appreciate you guys, and especially 3D Woodworks for going above and beyond to do something amazing for somebody in the community. It just, you know, it really touches my heart. So thank you. And like I always say, I appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.